11 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Take it in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
What's up, y'all? I'm back live, man. I seen you had that meltdown last week. Oh, Madden,
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
I get it, man.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers finds his man on the out route. It's Chenault. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They need it, baby.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Rodgers now to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I really don't like playing cool now.
Throwing is Rodgers. Connection made with Chenault.
When you do hurry up offense, they can do
So
the same
5
offense.
yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I'll go to that defense.
Rodgers to throw once more. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. It's probably a pretty good sign here in the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening
mentioned runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So no gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Out is Chris Nagar now to try the field goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Able to complete this to Chenault. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk, 17 yards there on 4th down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Open man is the tight end Troutman. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Kidder here, it's complete. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
I knew it, baby.
We're scoreless after 1.
I knew it.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter.
Yo. Where it at?
It's Rodgers.
He's
got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra points up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
I gotta go crazy now, dog. Come on, dog. Fish scale. Shout out to Fish Scale, man.
They go play action with Burrow. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside 30. Jahan Dotson.
They get it, baby. First play of the game, man.
5 before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Barkley is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Burrow gets this one quickly out wide. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a third and goal situation. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
Third and goal. Burrow toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
They walk me down.
Here we go.
11.
Burrow going for it on fourth. Touchdown, Washington.
Good shit, baby.
Jahan Dotson from 4 yards out. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Gold with the extra point, and we're tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
This is a league that I just joined, man. I didn't draft this team or nothing, so I like playing leagues like this. Shit like this make me better, you know what I'm saying? Play with any team, versatile. I had a stream the other day. It was called Versatile, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to switch shit up in life.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run once more with Taylor.
Let's go.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
So you also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 37.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. 3 and 5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. I see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailing?
Well, since you took me to the knowledge,
oh, but there goes that man.
Keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5 and 5. Maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3 and 6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
A first down carry for Barkley.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward Barkley. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Saquon Barkley. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And he's going to have a first down here. They're also into field goal range at the 28. On first down, Rodgers. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game. Pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking it.
He's got him in, complete. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And again, it's Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Nagar's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, here we go. How about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. On third down, Burrow. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation and paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Burrow looking to pass. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
A gain of 3, second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you get ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun, it's Rodgers rolling to his left. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
But that was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate, that was just incomplete.
They can put some punt holes, but it's all good.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
You should have went for it.
Here's Andy Lee now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. They will throw on first down with Burrow. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. But that one was in the air for an agonizing long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Go to 50.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. That one on the money to Bourne downfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Being chased out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Robert
Quinn able to record his 5th sack of the season. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. To throw, it's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown. And this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down on coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball.
My team,
and boy, that sure turned out well for them.
I just picked them up. I like the Commander's uniform.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
What I got, dog.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final
Y'all should see the
play
teams
of
I
this
drafted.
third quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back.
I drafted the Falcons. You see Jalen Hurts at quarterback.
On EA Sports.
Desmond Ridder on the Jets. I drafted them teams. I go crazy with that.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth quarter deficit. And they need this drive to end in points. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner. We watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
Oh! That's his 3rd, 4th pick since I got here, dog. And he finna run that motherfucking back. Yes, sir!
Here he goes left side.
Yes, sir!
And he will bring this one back. An interception.
That's his 4th motherfucking kick. For a touchdown, nigga.
Well, Charles, as a defender yourself who made a few of those plays back in your day, I know you know there's no better feeling than a pick six for a defender.
He's going to be an X factor fucking with me, dog.
Take it and you realize you're out there and you've got a great chance to score. Not to get
he is 67 overall, man. I do this man and shit.
Monster, as we used to call it, knock you down before you get to the end zone. That didn't happen on that play. He carried it home.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
This shit over, dog. I'm getting more money than son. Getting more money in my bank. Yeah.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Rodgers' throw taken in by Bourne. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. The tight end, Henry, here in motion.
Watch the move, man.
26.
Rodgers now on first down. And this this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. They'll get 34 yards there.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Rodgers now on first down. He'll drop this down to Taylor, and he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another. That's going to set up first and goal.
Dancing to his left.
You better fucking not.
Give him
You
a
better
couple
fucking
on the
not.
scramble. It's second down.
I see that
Well, it
shit.
certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
On second and goal, Rodgers. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kendrick Bourne, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Rodgers will throw for it. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion. But still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Yeah, that's true. You've said that before. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here we go. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here we go with Burrow.
There you go, baby.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That shit's so capped,
And
dog.
sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown
Hey,
last
yo,
time they had
man,
the
catch
ball,
it, dog. You
so
gotta
they should get
use
another
it
shot.
every fucking play on it, dog.
McKenzie now to return it. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll bring a receiver in motion late. Rodgers to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Talk about career resurgence. How about Robert Quinn in 2021? 18 and a half sacks at age 31, which put him over 100 for his career, and he finished 2nd in the NFL.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Rodgers. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw, Rodgers. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
With no timeouts left, that's a dangerous proposition working the middle of the field. Fortunately for them, that one fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Flush to his right. Open man right side is St. Brown. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to keep it once more. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the
Well,
they came so close, Charles. They were knocking on the door in a one-possession game, but ultimately the defense held tough to get the victory.
And doesn't it feel like it just leaves them asking what could have been? So many moments when they could have had a big play to change the outcome of this game. And let's face it, none bigger than that final snap that just fell short.
So for Washington, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.
That was a good game right there. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I'll be right back, man. I'm finna upload that game, man. That shit was crazy. Crazy ending, crazy comeback. Just gotta stay loyal and humble, dog.